Good Time Podcast. God, we really need we should come up with I know we talk about it all the time, but we do need to get ourselves a fucking...
we got to work with our boy Scott, I think, and come up with something.
Yeah.
Come up with something.
I mean, even if he just finds lyrics to one of an instrumental, he's like,
well, he could probably do most of the singing, and we could, like, come in with it.
Yeah.
Or something, you know, I mean, we are harmonious.
Yes. I'll ask you this question once we get into the podcast. Here, let me introduce the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm Steve Schaefer.
I'm Cody Adams.
And this is a Damn Good Time Podcast.
Flacco around and find out, baby.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hit him with it.
We're back.
We back.
Back in this dudes. Just a couple of dudes. Gonna drink and get rude. See, I'm basically a poet, dude.
I know you said you want to start with something, but
what's that?
I was thinking I wanted to start with something as well.
Oh yeah, no, I was getting ready to talk about something like I'll save that for the podcast. Let me introduce the show and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I wasn't really gonna start with anything. You
started with the Flacco round. Find out.
Yep.
We said we would never do a shot until the Browns won of this. Crown Royal Browns bag.
Yep.
But I think we
only took like 2 last season after I bought it. I think.
Right. So I think we need to take a shot.
Yeah.
Because as you just heard, Flacco round. Find out. Joe Flacco re-signed to the Cleveland Browns today, which when this comes out, it'll be a couple days later. Sorry. But I think in honor of the Flacco wacko man coming back, we got to do a shot.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a win for the Cleveland Browns.
Because I didn't even hear about this. I saw you wear the shirt, and I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah. Or actually, I think your wife was like...
Spoiled it.
Yeah. Well, not really spoiled it.
Yeah.
But, you know...
You probably would have caught on at some point, like, oh, you got your Flacco shirt on. And I'm like, you don't know?
Yeah, that or,
you don't know?
Or I would have known right now.
Right.
But I was just reading an article, because after she told me, I had to, take a pre-show dump.
Sure.
My bowels get a little nervous sometimes.
A PSD.
So as I was sitting there, I was reading an article where the guy was like, yeah, and they got him back, and in the last 3 seasons, the Browns looked their best under his helm. Like, he only played for 5 games for us, went 4-1 out of those 5.
Hey,
and I'm like, fuck yeah! I thought it was a little bit longer of a run than that, but
got us, playoff run.
Yes.
Bombed pretty hard in that last game, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Got us there. And that was the key. And, you get a healthy Browns team under Joe Flacco, or, you get the Kenny Pickett and to learn from him too. And then I'm assuming by this move that we are literally done with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Because that's why you did not re-sign Joe Flacco. You did not re-sign Joe Flacco last year, because if you did, and Deshaun goes out there and sucks, that entire stadium is calling for Joe Flacco to come back out.
Yeah.
That's just how the Cleveland fans work.
Right.
So if you re-sign him, meaning you plan on using him, meaning, one, Kenny Pickett, not a good quarterback, but okay, he's a young kid.
He was hopeful when he first came out, right?
Yeah. Where I'm probably in our number 2 draft pick, we're going to grab Hunter. And we're going to have a rookie QB that gets a train under Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
And probably still have a pretty fun year.
Yeah.
I mean, fantasy football-wise, give me some Cleveland wide receivers.
And even, too, like...
Jerry Judy.
Because even, like, Deshaun, when he first started out, he wasn't a slack.
No,
but I don't think he ever progressed. So I wonder if there's probably still some kind of knowledge that somebody can pick out of his brain somewhere.
I think by the start of the season, you might see his contract bought out, and he's gonders.
Nobody else fucking wants him.
No, that's the thing. But hey,
but I don't know how any of that works either. So
to Joe Flacco,
Flacco
round
for
find out.
a win, a small win for the Browns.
I don't know. It's crazy, but I don't mind it. I don't feel like Browns are going to do amazing things this year anyways.
You never know.
without that QB. So
What was our fucking record last year?
oh god, what did we win? Like 4 or 5 games, right? That's too long ago, Steve. I can't remember that shit.
Year by year. Yes, I'll accept your fucking cookies.
Eat the cookies.
Yum, 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 yum. Oh, it starts at 1946. 2024.
3 and 14.
That's pathetic.
Yeah. Well, the year before we come off 11 and 6 with Flacco leading some of that. So
Yeah, 4 of those are Flacco's.
all right,
You know?
love it.
Yeah. As long as we go 500 this year, that'd be cool. You know?
Right,
Let's win half at least.
right.
I'd be happy with that. Even though, like, how many more fucking rebuild years are we gonna have?
A bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks.
Who do they think we're picking up in the draft?
That Hunter kid. It's either him or probably. Oh my god, my brain is just mush right now. I just,
Yeah.
I literally. Travis Hunter. That's it.
Yeah, because everybody thought they were gonna pick up a QB and shit. Who's Hunter? See, that's the other thing is I don't know. I don't know shit about college players too much. I'm one of those guys that
Right.
I like sports when I can watch them. I'm not an off-season sports
Yeah.
guy at all.
There was a lot of thought that we were going to pick up Sanders, Deion Sanders' son,
Shoulder
Yeah.
Sanders, yeah.
to get that quarterback lined up. But I think now they're going to go that Travis Hunter, who plays double position and wants to play double position the whole time, which is not, you're not doing that. But
Right.
he's pretty much like the pick at wide receiver.
Yeah. And
So
then
they're gonna-
this projection is Tyler Show of Louisville for QB at 33.
Which, hey,
But honestly, you can project as much as you want. You still don't know what the other teams are going to do.
they could trade out.
Yeah.
They could trade out of the pick, go grab some more picks, bolster up defense, bolster up offensive line, bolster up the different positions that you might need in hopes that also I think we have a pretty good draft pick next year already too.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, even if we do good. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like another little rebuild phase where it's like, but we're not that bad.
Right.
We could still win up.
I did. This is a couple months ago. I saw some reports of, I guess Watson was talking shit, saying like, "I'll prove him wrong." So
Right.
he may come back out with a spark in his ass. I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I'm going back to when we picked him up. That he's not our guy.
Yeah.
It's you can rewind as much as you want on this podcast. When we first picked him up, I was like, I don't think that's our guy. We should
I
have
had
kept
hopes,
Mayfield.
but yeah.
But you never know, because even like it's so weird. It seems like nowadays when you get an all-star rookie QB, you get a good class coming out of college, and you almost expect them to come out and just dominate. It's like, no, they still need to learn how to play at a professional
Right.
level. They need a couple seasons to fucking
Right.
figure it out. And I mean, almost fucking Mayfield is kind of case in point. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, he came out pretty hot for us at some points. He didn't look great at some points, and now he's fucking kicking so much ass at Tampa Bay. It's
and I
like they
think-
need to warm themselves up to it.
Or sometimes you need that beat down. You need that beat down
Yeah.
to make yourself better. So whether, and that's what I said about watch Deshaun leaves Cleveland and go somewhere else and
Fucking
then
blows up.
Blows up. That would be the Cleveland story.
Yeah,
It
it always is.
Yeah. But yeah, you never know. There are some, rookies came in, this last year that were pretty damn good right off the rip.
Jaden Daniels.
But you saw that the year before with
I think Anthony Richardson came out hot, and then they ended up benching him at Indianapolis.
you saw that the year before with CJ Stroud came out.
Yeah.
slinging.
hot as fuck, dude.
And then this year, not so much.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of factors to that, but
yeah.
honestly, and you never know what changes, and confidence changes, and then receivers change, and things change. So
So we're starting Flacco.
I would assume. I
I'm
mean, I
assuming-
think they're probably going to make him compete for their job.
Yeah, they'll see how it does in preseason and
Between
warm ups and
Pickett and
shit.
Flacco, maybe Pickett starts,
Yeah,
and then Pickett messes up a couple times. Like, all right, get the vet in.
I don't know much about Pickett's play style. Is he a pocket passer? Or is he a runner gunner? Or like,
He's a little more pocket,
okay,
a little step back pocket passer, I believe, from
'Cause
what I
that's
remember.
Flacco's not picking up rushing yards. You know what I mean?
No.
He's a pocket passer and shit.
Yeah. I mean, Pickett can run. He played for the Steelers. He was in the Steelers. We watched him play a little bit for them.
Yeah.
He just didn't get enough out of him. I know he played. I think he was on different. He left the Steelers. Did he come straight to? No, I think he went to a different team first.
I
but-
forget. Yeah, he wasn't on Steelers last year.
Oh, I think he went to New England or something. I forget. I mean, he's just obviously not that good of a quarterback, but could have that potential.
But it doesn't mean he can't turn into it, you know? Oh, he was in Eagles.
That's right. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like he's
because that's
gonna
what somebody
get any
posted.
playing
We
time.
have two super quarterbacks on our roster now.
Yeah, like he's playing any reps around fucking Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Oh, he's 26. I thought he was a bit younger than that, but yeah, still, that's fine for a quarterback.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm hopeful, as always.
I think with Flacco, you at least get a good show.
Yeah.
He's probably going to throw. It's just like Jameis. He's going to throw some interceptions.
Yeah.
He's going to throw some really bad balls. But then all of a sudden, he's just going to start lighting it up downfield. And you're like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, let's go.
Fucking Jameis Winston did that last year, where it's like he got 400 and some odd passing yards and like 6 touchdowns. It was nuts.
But 5 interceptions.
yeah. But
And-
that game was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there hoping like, yeah, dude, he's a gunslinger. He's gonna come out fucking throwing bombs. And the next game he did jack shit.
Yeah.
We just need somebody fucking consistent.
And that's the problem with these guys. What Flacco is now, what James is. It's like they will launch that ball with no care. They just hope their guy's there,
Yeah.
and
That's one thing I need to look into too. Is I know just from playing fantasy, it was every week you're looking at the standings. Who's one, who's two, like how they do, where are they ranking up, who's somebody you didn't think about. And then once it was over, I just stopped paying attention. It's like I need to go back and do like a recap of last year's season because I'm gonna have to be drafting again here soon.
Well, if you listen to Fantasy Footballers, it's a good thing. They do a recap
Yeah.
and they do multiple mock drafts, and they kind of give you an idea of where to go.
Like, how do we have drafted it now that we know what we know?
Yeah, and
Which I haven't listened to them since fantasy football was over either.
Me either. But you can always go back, and they're just sitting there bullshitting about trades like this. Like
Yeah.
this will be a big highlight for them, and they're short episodes, and they put out one a week or whatever. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then they start talking about rookies, and then they start doing, you start talking about the NFL draft. And I would say it's closer. Then the mock drafts start and all that stuff. So the mock drafts are important. I think it's also good to go on like if you really want to prepare yourself for fantasy football, go on Yahoo or wherever you go and do the mock drafts with real people.
Yeah.
Sometimes computers will be in there too, but you at least see like the position, like play
Right.
and try to get in different seats, different positions, and try to run it, and you'll at least see who's going in the top 20, so you know how to strategize around that.
Right.
And
then you can make your own little kind of comprehensive list of like, well, these are the QBs I'm watching.
Yeah. Yeah. I think quarterback's gonna be fun
Yeah.
next year. I think it's gonna be a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see how, like a Jaden Daniels plays again this year, Like, cause like you said, with CJ Stroud, he came out hot, and then the season after that, it wasn't as good. And it's like, is that going to happen to, Jaden? Is it like a rookie thing or?
Well, everybody had high hopes for Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
And a couple good games, but for the most part, was not good. So
I think in my work league, I drafted him as my QB when I went for a QB pick.
Yeah.
And it was a mistake.
There's always people like Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Solid ass Joe Burrow that'll get you to the end. And
Yeah.
towards the end, he always turns on fire, too. And you're like, what the fuck, Joe Burrow? Stop it.
Yeah.
And that's where I love.
And then you get in Patrick Mahomes that doesn't put up any fucking fantasy points like all year, I don't think.
Well, towards the end, he started
Yeah,
doing it.
but like
yeah.
barely had any
Oh, no.
double
But they win.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
they
yeah,
win.
Yeah.
They still win. They still go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need to chuck the ball down the field. He doesn't need it. He just
Right.
runs a little bit, a little pass, runs a little bit, play the clock. Such a boring ass team. But it works. And
Yeah.
I get it. But it's boring football most of the time.
Right.
I miss the old, like, driving down, which he's done plenty of times, drive down the field and score that last touchdown, the Tom Brady style.
Yeah.
Come back from 21 points down. It's not over. Fire over,
Yeah.
fire over.
Yeah.
Let's go. And then the drives just.
Yeah. I don't know why, but my dad doesn't like Tom Brady. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
And there's one year when they were in the Super Bowl. I think it was against the Falcons where they were down a lot. And I'm like, and it was like third, fourth, towards the end of the game. And I was like, nah, Tom Brady's going to come back and do some Tom Brady shit. You fucking watch. He's like, no. And he's like so happy that he was losing. And then he came back and did some Tom Brady shit. And I was like, see?
Tom Brady.
But
God damn. The go to football right there.
yeah.
Of quarterback, anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some football coming up. It's still far away.
We
We haven't even had summer yet.
I know. We just got a little bit of excitement, so now we're all
Yeah.
on it. But,
Well, and like even my oldest started conditioning for football already, which is they're not really doing a lot of drills or anything. They're just kind of hitting the weight room and getting kind of some workouts in.
Right.
Which this 13-year-old just deadlifted 275.
Hell yeah.
He's a fucking strong boy, dude.
Hell
Yeah. I'm super stoked about that. I was gonna wait a little longer to kind of let him grow. I've heard a lot of stories of kids that start lifting heavy too early, where they have joint pains, ligament problems, and stuff like that. But if he's gonna start getting interested in it, I should at least like start working with him and make sure he's doing it right and stuff.
Right.
Because I know he even said like obviously they have coaches around and stuff, but it's still kind of elective for them to be in there. And it seems like it's more of like a free-for-all from all the kids in the small weight room. So I don't know if they're actually getting a lot of one-on-one time and he's doing proper form and shit like that, or if he just like listen to what other kids say. So I kind of want to work with him just to make sure he's doing things right and like
Right.
and not blowing his fucking beans out because he's trying to deadlift 300 or some shit.
Start getting worked in, man.
Yeah.
Getting be a big old fucking linebacker.
Yeah.
Getting paid.
Yeah, well, his size and his class right now, he's a lineman for sure.
Yeah.
But if I can get him leaned out and a little quicker, and he'll sprout up a few inches here soon too. If he's anything like me, by the time he's 16, he'll be 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
And
Not taller. You never know. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
boy
he'll
could
probably
grow
be-
a foot in a minute.
Yeah.
So
I think both my kids are going to be giants. They have the. I'm an average. Well, I don't know what the average height for a man is.
like 5'4".
Oh, really? Well, then I'm taller than
In the
average.
world.
Yeah.
The world is like 5'4" or 5'5" or some shit. It's short. Where
Let's
I'm
see.
like
Average height. H-E-I-G-H-T, if I could spell right. Of American male.
it's shorter than you think.
5'9". Hey, we're
All
taller than average. Look at us go.
Hey, yeah. I got a couple inches on all you.
Yeah. Well, you're like 5'11", right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I know. We're the same.
That's why I figure. I can't, but like, sometimes you don't realize. Like, I feel like I look you eye to eye, but like if we stood back to back, I don't know if. But I think like we're the same height.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm saying like, both my kids they have a 2 inch taller than average male, and then I want to see what female is because Sarah's also 5'11", which is 5'3" is the average height. So
crazy.
she's way taller
Yeah.
than the average female. So they have taller than average parents genes in both of them.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling. I think Henry's gonna be like 6'1", 2. Parker's probably gonna be like 6'3", 4 because
Let's
he's
hit that 6'5" mark, and then we talking.
yeah. Because Parker is 2 years younger than Henry, and he's only like an inch and a half shorter.
Yeah.
So he's already super fucking tall for his age.
I mean, being a lineman, not good on your knees, but
Yeah.
you also don't have the risk of getting murdered
Yeah.
on the field. So,
You're not getting cold cocked.
yeah, you can go pretty long time
Yeah.
hunching.
Yeah.
So, well, you know that. So I'm not
Yeah.
telling you anything new, but you know, just for people listening. But you know,
But yeah, as a lineman, you're not really doing a lot of wide open sprint with somebody else wide open sprinting, hitting
Right.
you in the fucking dome.
Right.
Your battle's 6 feet, 3 feet away,
Yeah.
and a little bit easier. Well, tougher on you in the initial, but easier on the head. I think I'd want to say.
Oh, I would say 100%.
Probably. It's some of the knees and ankles and shit.
Some of the pile-ons and shit.
Yeah,
are
you
not
get fucked in the
fun.
pile-on. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not too bad.
Or you get a running back that runs into the back of you and falls down weird on your leg and twists your knee
Right.
and shit.
Right.
I think that's the main reason a lot of those linemen they always wear those knee braces and shit. They're getting their shit blown out from fucking everybody falling on it more.
But you just make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
No shit's given. You get robot knees, and by that time,
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I'm not, everybody wants the best for the kids. I'm not going to put huge aspirations on them or anything like
Right.
that. But I'd be like, yeah, if you got a chance to go to the fucking NFL. Or even now college.
oh yeah, even college. Yeah.
Yeah. You get a fucking degree in something good. Get a chance to go to the NFL. Sign your first contract. Get your money and run. Get your fucking money and run. Unless you're like super stud, like really good, and shit like that. Then obviously play it out. Or if you really love the game, then play it out. But like most of the time, it's like fuck, man. You could play 3 seasons and retire.
Right.
Oh
yeah, just be smart about your money.
Yeah. Depending on where and how you want to live, like.
Well, and that's always been a problem with the athletes, and I talk about like a lot of these NFL stars and stuff that make it, and not very many people make it. Obviously, it's like
Yeah.
2 or 3% of athletes.
Right.
Might be a little bit higher in football. I don't know because there's more bench and more
I
stuff.
think we Googled this once on one of the episodes, and it was like barely 2% or some shit like that.
So it's slim chance you're going to make it anyways.
Right.
But if you do, and then they get in there and, all they've known is partying, or they haven't got the
Yeah.
party because they've been doing football, and then all of a sudden they're millionaires, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what am I doing with my money? Buy $1 million house, buy $1 million
Yeah.
car, give my parents $1 million. Hey, that's sweet for you.
Yeah.
They got someone to fall back
That's
on.
what I want. Yeah. Don't worry, son. I invested it.
Yeah, I invested it in cocaine.
Cocaine and your 3 new moms.
No, but it's a wild thing. But anyways,
Yeah.
shit, we just got off on football.
Football. And it's not even close yet. But so
Draft's coming up in a couple weeks. So
yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, how's your week been?
good. Started a new job.
Yeah, Mr. Office Boy.
And now that I left Cisco Foods, as I never said it before, I
Yeah.
left them. Done left them.
Left.
I didn't leave them high and dry though, so it's good.
Yeah.
And now I'm in property management officially. I'm just trying to learn the ropes, learn the chaos,
Yeah.
be on a schedule, be in an office. I'll be out still running around different properties and stuff. So we'll see how that all works. But just trying to figure everything out. Change my sleep schedule because that's completely different
Yeah.
now. 'Cause I gotta be there at way earlier, and I had to even wake up for my job.
Right.
So things are changing, which is good. It's good. It's sometimes it's like I was a little too loosey goosey with my last schedule,
Yeah.
and just like who cares? I'm gonna still get my work done. I'm gonna get everything done, and I did. And
Yeah.
I think I still did a pretty good job, but I could have definitely tried a little bit harder. But I think you can say that about any job once you get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
It's like
It's tend to do just the bare minimum.
I could have tried a little bit harder, but it's not like I got fired or quit. Or I did quit, but
Yeah.
I put in a 3 weeks notice and everything. It's not like they wanted me gone.
Right. It wasn't like, fuck you, I'm out, bitches. Like, so
Yeah.
long.
It was
douche.
none of that. It was none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, your wife's taking my job.
Yeah.
It was a good job, but it's just I think after that many years of working for a corporation and doing the corporate stuff and like not feeling like I don't some form I feel like I need a meaningful impact in my job.
Yeah.
Like and I think that's just part of who I am. Like I always need to feel like I'm either helping somebody, actually like literally helping somebody, or literally like doing something to improve
Mm-hmm.
the thing, which in a way I was there, but not to the extent that I liked it.
Yeah, you almost need more like an instant gratification thing. Like, look what the fuck I did today. You
No,
know?
yeah. I mean,
Well, it's,
that's what that was. That was instant gratification. That job was instant. My last job, that's it. Because it's like you just want to help the customer out and they're happy, blah, blah, blah. That's more instant gratification. So, oh, thank you so much.
yeah,
I need a long term, like I'm building something.
right.
And then when it does happen, when it is built, then I can step back and be like, I fucking did that.
Kind of like when we were in the restaurant industry together. It's like after a few years of it, and like, look at this fucking well-oiled machine we got going on.
Right. Exactly.
Remember when we first started? How and now look at it now. Look at us now.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So now I walked into, awesome place that our buddy runs. And I'm like, okay, well, I can see some room for some improvements.
Yeah.
That maybe other people don't see, or maybe they just haven't had time for,
Right.
Because they've been just too damn busy.
It's like, yeah, that's always been a problem. We just never really got around to fixing it. Or yeah.
And the cool thing was like, I love we love our technology, right? We've always messed around with it,
Yeah.
and that's something I'm always good at. Like if I found their technology that we're about to implement that he wants to implement, and I'm like, let me spearhead this. And he's like, fuck yeah, do it. And so all I get to do all day is train on this technology for all day. I've been there for 5 days, like all day.
For all 5 days.
But I feel like I've been training on it for weeks already.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've already been there for like multiple weeks. Not that I feel like the days are long, the days feel short. It's just I already feel like I'm intertwining really fast into it.
Building improvements.
Yeah. So to me, that's
Like,
kind of
hey, did you know we could do this on this program? Like, shut the fuck up.
yeah, exactly. I get that every day. They're like, what?
No shit. Huh? We've been doing it hard the
Holy
whole time.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And then coming up with new ideas for it, and I've come up with a couple good ideas, and I'm just like, and he's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, holy shit. And and he's hyping me up, of course. He's like a hype man me up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and getting me excited and get me into his business, and it's fun. It's fun right now, and I 5 years down the road, we'll talk again. But I think right now it's just and starting a new career sometimes like that. It is obviously a little nerve wracking and everything, and you, especially when you go to work for a buddy. You
take it a little more personal.
Yeah, and you always worry like, well, this is gonna hurt friendship, blah blah blah. But in my mind, the only way it's gonna really get hurt is if I just am a piece of shit.
Yeah. Which you're not.
Which I'm not.
Yeah.
So I think we're good.
Even if you do half of your potential, you're probably still gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Like just walking there like, nah, my fucking best friend's the boss. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I can understand that in your 20s, but when you're 40 years old and you walk into a place,
yeah.
And then I don't think I've ever felt 40 until now. And not that I feel like my body's 40 or anything's 40. It's my presence in a room and talking that now I feel 40.
Yeah.
After working the Cisco corporate job where I got brainwashed in a good way, in a bad way, good way, bad way, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Kind of a good way of how they do things.
Mm-hmm.
And then me going in there and being like, oh, shit, they weren't wrong on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And now I can implement some of these factors in. And then me speaking and me talking at the tables. And like me, 22 years old, I ain't saying shit. I ain't saying shit. Now me like talking in front of me like, hey, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Should work a little more on holding people accountable for this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And like,
and then I just remember
it's all about structure, people.
Yeah. I went and shook somebody's hand older than me. And for whatever, when somebody's older than me, like let's say they're in their 60s, whatever. You go shake their hand.
Yeah.
So this guy I met, and like right away, I feel like I don't have any respect from this man, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid. In my mind, I'm a kid to him.
Yeah.
And he was the most timid, like, hi, sir, how you doing? And I'm like, oh shit, I am old.
Yeah.
I can now say that people look at me and go, yeah, this guy knows some shit. He's been around a little bit.
Yeah, because in our minds, or at least, I don't mean to speak for you, but I have a feeling you think the same way. I'm still like 25 years old. You know what I mean?
I'm still like,
I'm one of the boys, dude.
I'm still
fucking
23. And
stupid.
there's somebody older than me. I'm like, and maybe I just have that elder respect. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you know way more than me. But then I get talking to him like, oh no, wait, I'm not talking about this guy or anybody in particular.
Yeah.
When I get talking to him like, oh no, wait, you're a dipshit. I know way more than you. Never mind. My bad.
Yeah.
I was giving you respect that you probably don't even need.
Yeah, there's a few customers I go to. And obviously I come in with customer service face because I am still kind of in customer service, I guess.
Right.
But I'm there to do a job. I don't really have to make them happy. I just have to make the shit work.
Right.
But I still try to do my best to, put on that face and smile and like look shirts tucked in and all that shit. And then there's some guy that's like, yeah, I run the lab. And you're like, okay, cool. And you start talking like, dude, how the fuck did you even get this job, dude? What do you mean you run the lab?
Right.
Like,
Well, now they're like baby-faced kids I see, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
yeah.
So then I start calculating that formula in my head. I'm like, okay, it's about every 10 years you get on you. It's about every 10 years you're smarter than everybody that's 20 years younger than you.
Yeah.
Or maybe 10 years, whatever it is. But if they're 10 years older than you, I feel like, are you always kind of like respectful and like overly like, oh no, you know more than me because you're older than me. But then
Right.
maybe you hit a fizzling point where you're like, nope, fucking it, everybody's an idiot.
Yeah. Well, you can tell a lot in people's personalities too when you work with them. Is there's always those people that 5 years in, 10 years in, 40 years in, they still know everything. They already know it.
Right.
And you can't talk to them. You can't be like, hey, maybe we should do things this way because it might be like blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I gotta do this way, that's right. Like, you can't like try to learn a little bit, or we can't like, workshop this somehow. Like maybe combine two ideas that works a little better than that or something.
Right.
They already fucking know everything. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
and those are the people that I hate most. I mean, even dumb people that just don't get it. Like, I'd rather work with them than somebody, because at least you can kind of train them, you can teach them, and you can, give them the repetitions till they start doing it the correct way. Whereas anybody that's doing it the incorrect way, but they think they're correct,
Yeah.
there's no talking to them.
Right.
And those ones are the ones that I want to, bash their
set.
heads through a wall.
They're set in their ways. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm probably going to run into a couple of them in my new job, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the train will keep moving.
That's not how we do that around here. Well, I'm here to tell you that we are going to start doing it that way around here.
Ding dong, things have changed.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to do it very nicely, but
Oh, yeah.
I also have that. I feel like as I gotten older, I got the dog in me now where
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cute.
Yeah.
Your way's not working. So we're going to go this way.
Yeah. I remember when I was sous chef of the Big City Chop House in Akron, and there's this guy. He was older than me. He already knew everything, but he always bounced around his line cook jobs, but he still thought he knew everything, right? And I was his boss. I was fucking like 25, 28-ish, somewhere around in there, I think. And I'm telling him what to do, and he always had pushback. And there's one day during service, I was telling him, like, no, they sent that back because it was overcooked. He's like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. Making me. I'm like, no, the customer wants it refired. Refire a thing. He's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, when I tell you, like, I got louder. I'm like, just put fucking steak on the grill, blah, 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 da, da. And like, so he does it, and he's like, okay, I see you working, sous chef. I didn't realize there's 2 lions in the jungle up in here. You fucking douchebag. It's like, there's only one, and this is me, motherfucker. Yeah. You need to realize that, bitch. He's like, I didn't realize there was 2 lions up in this jungle, but okay, I got you. I got your back now. I'm like, you should have had my back from the fucking beginning, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he's
just
probably
that's-
used to being whatever he said. Nobody wants to say anything back to him.
Yeah, like I said, he just jumped. He was one of those career line cooks that won't stay anywhere more than 2 years. You
Right.
know, I mean, anybody working in the food service industry knows that person. Where it's like, oh my god, they're awesome. They're kind of they know their shit, but after 2 years, they're gonna be gone.
He's going to go get $1 more over here, or
Yeah.
$2 more over here, or he got fired from this place because he didn't
Yeah.
show up. So then he gets a job at this place, and
Or-
then all of a sudden there's $2 more over here, so he goes over there. It's just
Or they never changed their attitude. They didn't realize there were 2 lions in the jungle at a certain place, and they got fucking fired or some shit. Like, that was so funny. so then me and my executive chef always joked about that. It's like, we got 2 lions up in this bitch.
like, you're my lioness. I'm about to mount you.
But yeah,
like, you're right. You're my lioness. I'm about to mount you.
yeah.
But I know you're still crazy.
And then it is funny too having an outside management hire, which depending on the job, sometimes that's better because sometimes you have people that are too friendly with all their coworkers, and then they get in a position of power and they don't know how to, put the
Right.
foot down and shit.
Yeah.
But as an outside management, you can start building that respect immediately. But you always have those people who are like, if you met the fucking new guy, he didn't know fucking shit. What a fucking asshole.
Right. And that, well, I mean,
Coming in here with his fucking button-down shirts on and driving his fucking Jaguar around. Who the fuck he think? Who the fuck he think he is?
who this guy showing up? Yeah, I just roll up, and they're like, I remember I walked in the front door and I heard a couple of the girls, and they're all nice girls, and one jokes around a lot and stuff, and she goes, "Uh-oh, we're in trouble," and I was like, "Is that because it's either just it was kind of a joke, or because I'm?" She's like, "Oh, we in trouble. Look how he's good looking," or is it because?
We got a boss up in here.
Or it's because they're actually worried. And I think it was just a joke. But
Yeah.
it was loud enough that I'm sure she knew I could hear it. So.
I don't know what the fuck it is about. Sometimes when you drive a car too, I got laid off from in the oil field once, and I went to work for Culligan. I was a low rung guy at Culligan, making shit money,
Yeah.
and I had a Cadillac DeVille, the big long boat, which I only paid $500 for,
Right.
but it looked nicer than that.
Oh, yeah. Caddies are awesome, dude.
Yeah, I pull up.
I love old Cadillacs. I love them.
I park in the parking lot, and the manager, the district manager was there, and he's like, "Oh, we got the new guy pulling up in a Cadillac. Look at this guy," because he was driving a Kia. And I'd be like, "Your fucking piece of shit Kia costs more than my Cadillac."
Right.
So,
Right.
and then I had oil field money, so I also had my Harley and shit.
Right.
So I mean, I was kind of cool, but like,
Yeah.
I think you even touched on it too, because our boy Tyler's gonna come work maintenance for you guys as well.
Right.
And he drives a Lexus.
I think he's working real hard to get his Toyota truck. His truck to have to show up in his
Like, fuck, we got 2 new guys, one in a Jag, the other one in a fucking Lex. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh yeah, if we show up at one of the properties tomorrow, it's going to be the owner and his nice Ford truck,
Yeah.
F-250, whatever it is. I'm going to pull in with the Jag, and then Alexis is going to pull in. Everybody in that apartment complex is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't even think, too, like, the tenants are probably like, we're paying too much.
It's not going to be a good look. It's not going to be a good look.
Fuck it, rub shit all over the walls. Fuck these rich assholes.
The owner in a nice truck, sure.
Yeah.
Then they're going to be like, here are you. I'll be like, oh, I'm the maintenance supervisor.
Is that your official title then? I don't know if I ever asked you that. Yeah.
My official title is maintenance supervisor, but
Yeah.
I've done a little of that so far. Might as well call me the technology supervisor.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. But no, it's all part of the plan. I'm going to get that organized as well. Maintenance
Right.
will be organized. Everything's going to be organized. It's just a lot of me on the computer right now.
Yeah.
To get our new program up and running.
Right.
And I love that shit. I love like diving into some software.
Yeah.
Figuring the ins and outs.
Well, even when we worked in the restaurants together, you were always, I think we used System 3 at the Lighthouse, and you
Right.
you knew that thing front to back.
Yeah.
And then we went to 131, they had micros, which neither of us ever really used, and you immediately started knowing that bitch front to back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys know that you can fire, but hold this ticket and like blah blah blah, and then like, just come right back, open it up, and hit send, and I mean, that's probably pretty standard for a lot of shit, but like, I don't think anybody knew how to do it.
A printer goes down, I'm like rewiring it. Put
Yeah.
the new printer back, I'm like, hey, all right, it's just be good now.
Yeah.
Why is this one talking to this one? Let's figure that out. Why we want this one to print over here? I'm like, I'll figure that out. I remember the micros guy came in one time and he was trying to give a lesson, and I was like, there's a way easier way to do that. And he's like, what? I was like, there's, on the back end, you can just go to this tab and like you punch in this and you go to that area and like you can just do that. You just did like 15 steps. I did 4.
Yeah.
And he's like, you should come work for Micros. And I'm like,
can I offer you a job, sir?
no, I'm happier, but I was like, what's a bet? Nah, I just like figuring out software and programs and stuff.
Yeah.
I learned as much as I could in the last 3 days about this system. And that's a lot of time. I mean, spending, 20 hours just combing through it and watching all the training videos, watching all this stuff. It gets too much. I think that's with anything.
Yeah.
Until you put it in operation. So, but at least I have that knowledge already.
Yeah, actually, like, I just got on a vein on TikTok. So my job is basically electrical engineering type stuff where PLC, relay logic, a whole bunch of just automation systems and stuff. And once you kind of figure out how they work, a lot of it is pretty standard across the board, how a lot of it works. And I started finding these TikTok videos where it'll show like a motor startup relay with an overcharge thing on it, and like I'm like, oh, I don't use any of that in my field right now, but it's cool to know. And then ever since watching that video, it's just constant like PLC stuff, relay stuff, this, that, and the other. There's even one where it has like these little quizzes of like, what part of the relay is actually in charge of blah blah. I'm like, fuck, dude, this is kind of neat. I'm like learning in little 30-second bits.
Yeah.
So you don't feel as burnout. Whereas, like, you're sitting there watching a goddamn 10-minute training video, and I don't know how you like to take in information, but sometimes when it's like, today we're going to learn about how to do this. First, you want to open your... I'm like, I fucking know all that. Just tell me.
Yeah.
I
want the meat and potatoes.
Don't go from the start. Just give me the center part of it,
I want the meat and potatoes. I don't need the carrots and the celery and anything else.
I already know the carrots and celery there.
Here's a list of what we're going to learn. No, they do break it down pretty good on this program, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like a lot of that, like I will skip through the video until they get to the screen where they're actually showing a computer. If they're sitting there talking, I'm like, I'm not listening to you. Show me on the fucking computer.
Or you watch for like 10 seconds, like, okay, I already know how to get there forward.
Yeah.
Okay,
click this tab.
Like, okay, wait, where the fuck's he at? I haven't seen that yet. Okay, go back to where he starts with this part that I actually want to fucking learn.
I don't have a protocol or anything. I'm doing this all on my own. So that's the nice part, because I'll sit on a subject for like, watch a couple videos of that.
Yeah.
And then I just jump to another subject and I click on that because I'm like, I want to be able to, like, if you just sit there and listen to one subject over and over again, you're not going to retain that. Yeah. So I'm like trying to just like zigzag around the map
and then sometimes
take the key pieces. And I'm doing the clips and I'm screenshotting anything important and I'm putting that in a folder. So then eventually I can not flashcard, but print all that out and then read back through it, and then it'll be stuck in my brain. I'm gonna throw all that away and delete it all.
Yeah.
But then I know when somebody comes to me a question, it's gonna hit my memory bank and go, I got you.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes too, like they'll give you a training on something, and they'll show you these little things or something about shit, and it's like, why do I need to? That didn't even come up in the total grand scheme of this training. Like, why did I learn that? And then, like you say, then you jump to another thing, and they're like, well, and this is where you want to go into the systems project folder. I'm like, oh, fuck, I learned about that last time. This is why I need to use that. I already know what the fuck that is. All right, this is where it comes in, dude. It's all making sense now.
Well, and then I'll walk away from it, and I go and talk to the people, and, I start talking about things, and I'm guinea pigging them. I send them an email, and like, hey, can you open that up and, like, try this out for me real
Yeah.
quick? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. And then they're all excited to do it, and everybody's excited about it, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
And I go sit in the office, with my boss, my owner,
Yeah.
my buddy,
Yeah.
and sit there and we'll start bullshitting. And I'll tell him what I learned a little bit, and he gets all jacked up. It's just like it's an insane energy he brings right now, which is it's just crazy. And he's just jacked out of his mind right now because I'm there and
That's dope.
I'm doing this stuff, and he's basically starting this whole new role of like, let's get this business going.
Right.
And I don't know if he was doing that before me, probably was, but now that I'm there too, he's like all jacked up out of his mind.
Yeah, and that's I would even say like not that it's like let's get this going, but let's take it to the next level.
Yeah, it's
Because like you said, like he took it over from his grandfather, correct? Mm-hmm. And like you said, like they still deal with checks on a lot of shit. Like really?
yeah, a lot of checks.
Yeah.
Grosses me out.
Yeah. Paper?
and
You guys
and
use paper?
and I get it. It's hard to break what you've been doing for so long.
Yeah, habits are hard to shift.
And he's been wanting to do this forever. I mean, that's why they started with this, and that's why he's been trying to get me in there for the last, hell, I don't know. He's probably been trying to get me in for 5 years since
Yeah.
he started that. And now he got me in, and I said, you know what? If we're going to do anything, we're doing this first. And he said, okay. And then we had our first meeting with everybody, and I said, I hope everybody's in mind, but I'm tackling this first. And I think that made him very excited. He told me he didn't even sleep the first night I started. And then he drove me around through the hills of West Virginia the next day. I'll have no sleep. I was like, you son of a bitch. But he was so excited. Which gets me excited. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
No, it's a beautiful thing. And hopefully we can get him back on, after we go through all of our fun controlled chaos.
Yeah.
That was fun fact that they were throwing the word out chaos plenty of times. I'm like, shit, that's what I used to call a restaurant. This is controlled chaos.
That's all it ever was.
So I'm back to that again. Thrived very well in the restaurant industry. So why not property management? Why not give her hell?
Yeah.
Why not give her hell? See what comes out the other side.
Take your normal go get 'em energy and apply it to a new thing.
Right. And it's kind of revitalized a lot in me. Like
Yeah.
a lot of that.
That's like this job I'm doing was all brand new to me.
Right, exactly.
Somebody asked me like, we've had a few new hires that I've been training, and like, so what did you do before this? Like, I didn't do any, and then blah blah. I'm like, I didn't know what the fuck any of this was whenever I first started. Guy I knew got me in because I was willing to travel and I was willing to learn, and I just took my attitude like I take towards everything is like and learn as much as I can. And I feel like I'm doing fucking great at it,
Yeah, I forget if it was either I told you or somebody asked me. They were like, I think somebody asked me, like, what's Steve doing? I was like, oh, he just started a job doing, they're like, what's it, background in that? And I'm like, no.
No,
I'm
not
like,
even a little bit.
and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't fucking matter because he's Steve. I was like, the next thing you know, he's going to be the general manager. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't stop
Right.
until we're on top.
Yeah.
We don't stop. We will work our dicks off, and as long as somebody appreciates that, we're going to go right up that ladder, and we're going to be done, because that's just what we do.
Right. Yeah, because I'd probably still be doing hella fucking oil field shit
Right.
if it wasn't for fucking like a lot of COVID stuff. Because I was slated to go to Saudi and be training
Right.
until COVID shut down all the fucking all the international travel and stuff. But either way, like now I'm still traveling.
Yeah.
I gotta go to fucking El Salvador next
Yeah,
week.
but not so bad. And
Yeah,
kinda
I'm not
cool,
gone
and
21
like,
days straight. Like,
Yeah.
I get to still be home on the weekends. Fuck, I was just in San Francisco, and I'm here now on a Friday.
Right.
Pretty
cool.
Just
Like,
flew in this morning.
just chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go. Like, I did my job. Customers were happy, which this was kind of funny. A customer that we have, most of our customers are yearly inspections and calibrations. This one, they can sign up for as many as they want, so they do it bi-yearly. So every 6 months we visit there. 6 months ago, I was there. I did their normal service. I did the job that I always do and everything. And this time came around for scheduling. Their guy sent out an email saying, I was even tagged in it. He tagged me, my bosses, everybody, like just trying to plan the next upcoming calibration. Just I don't know who you're gonna send out, but the last guy seemed like he was kind of rushed. It's like, fuck, he's talking about me, dude. Like, what did I do wrong? It just seemed like he was kind of rushed and blah, 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 blah. So I came in this time, and all I did was just I did the same fucking job. I just dragged my feet a little bit more and, like, kind of just communicated with him a little bit more. And the guy was like, he's like, thanks, man. Great job. Thank you for coming out. He's like, are you going to be coming back next time? I'm like, it's hard to say who's coming out with the schedule. He's like, well, make sure it's either you or Dave. The last guy didn't seem like he really wanted to be here. I don't know if he was like rushed or what, but he just, and I'm sitting, I didn't have the heart to tell him, like, I was the last guy.
Man,
I don't know how many, like, he must not have remembered, like, I feel like it'd be easy, like, the one tech with a lip ring and tattoos, because I'm the only one.
He walked away from meeting. He's probably like, oh, yeah, machine's over here. Like, oh, sweet, man, I got it. Like, you went over there and did your
That's
sit.
the way he always does. He did that the exact same time this way. I just spent more time there.
And then you probably walked out the building. He's like, is he gone?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, he left. He said he was all done. Everything's good to go.
Yeah.
He's probably like,
I just did I'm like, okay, some people need a little more ass kissing.
Say bye.
Yeah. Some people just need like a little more ass kissing or
100%.
something, a little more FaceTime. I'm not really much of a bullshitter. I like to do a good job, and let my work speak for me. This one, you kind of had to play the little politics more of like kiss their ass, like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. Just make sure you guys just be a little more attentive to them and talk to them more. And now it went from,
oh, that's funny.
This fucking guy, never want him back, but we want you back. I'm like, that's the same person, bro.
Yeah.
Same fucking person,
Same
dude.
guy.
Surprise.
Got him.
Yeah, so, and I haven't talked to my management yet, but on Monday when I go in, I'll be like, I got him back.
Got him back.
He doesn't want that other guy. He wants this guy.
The last guy that was there, what a dick.
Piece of shit.
Worthless. Who was it? Let's check the records. Yeah. Fuck you, Steve, it was you.
Yeah. Oh, he already knew it was me. He's like, hey, because he gave me a warning. He's like, you saw that email, right? I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? He's like, I just know, I don't know, just spend more time there or something. So I fucking, pulled out all this, just a lot of, put my chapstick on for the ass kissing,
Yeah.
And now he only wants me or Dave, so.
Should bring on popsicle when he showed up.
Yeah.
Bring him a little gift. Be like, oh, here's a keychain.
But the other
Boom,
cool
you're
thing is
in.
like,
Giving shit to people is like the biggest, like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, remembrance.
Well, not only that, is personally, I feel bad milking the clock. And the way we charge them, it's all flat rate. We flat rate it and then charge extra for any parts and shit. And so I feel bad about costing my company more money for me being there. The less I'm there, the less they pay me, the more they make off of it. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, well, if I just fucking drag my feet, take my time, still doing the same job, just slower,
Yeah.
I'm going to get a bigger fucking paycheck.
Right.
Whereas, like, normally it would have been, I'd have logged, I was there 2 days and, like, a half day, but I would have logged 8 hours, and then half day was a travel in, so I would have got, like, 16 anyway, because it was a 12-hour flight and bullshit to get there. But now I made 16 first day, 12 the next, and then 11 and a half the next day. It's like, you know what? Maybe I should just take my time on fucking any of it.
Gotta keep the customers happy.
Until my boss starts bitching about me being there too long, I'm gonna fucking start racking up these paychecks.
You gotta make the customers happy. Maybe you need to taking some shiatsu massage or something.
Yeah.
Give them a little rub down.
Yeah. Because honestly, like I get a little bit of anxiety about since I'm going all the way across the country to San Francisco to make sure that I get the job done. So I try to do it quickly and efficiently. So if I do run into any problems that are just going to take me longer, I still have the time to knock it out.
It's like me getting a haircut, right? So
Yeah.
don't have much hair to cut. Don't have much to do.
Yeah.
Um,
But
now
I'm paying
mainly-
$40 for 5 minutes.
mainly my wife will do it right now because it's like
Yeah.
there's nothing to do, right? She'll spend more time than a lady at Great Clips will. A lady at Great Clips will knock me out in 2 minutes, kick me out the door. I just spent $25. I still tip $5, even though I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do anything. He's like, all right, you're good.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you go in like Great Clips, and that lady's cutting all the hair out of my ears.
Yeah.
She's like, zzz, doing my ears, like, old shit. I got hair and shit, like cleaning me up, straight lining the shit out of me, taking her time.
She go to Sasha.
Because she's like, you matter still because you're still paying 20 fucking whatever dollars for a haircut. Not just let me, okay, you're good. And it's like, well, that doesn't justify $20 at all.
Yeah, you're actually getting your $20 worth.
That's bullshit.
When they take their time. And that's the way, like, so I need to think of that more instead of rushing through and making sure it's good. But like I said, I always get worried about.
It's a good haircut. I'm
If
not saying it's a bad haircut.
Yeah, but if I run into a problem, I want to make sure I have time to fix it.
Yeah. I just feel a little unsatisfied when they do that. I'm like,
Yeah. And that's probably what the guy was thinking. It's like, fuck, we paid him, X amount of dollars, and he was in and out in fucking 16 hours or whatever.
yeah, it doesn't seem right. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he should have wine and dine me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No,
Remember that
this
one guy came that one
this guy
time
comes
and-
around, he spends 26 hours on the total thing, the hair totally, and like,
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah. Whatever it is. Yeah, it's a little bit of, it could be a little bit to that,
Yeah, and sometimes you got to feel it, especially on my job, you got to feel at the customer because there's others where they can't work on that machine. They can't use that machine when I'm working on it, so they want me to get it done fast so they can get back to it because they're more about production.
Right.
Whereas this was a utility, they're not testing safety equipment to make money off of it. They're testing safety equipment to keep their guys safe. But these other labs, like the second that machine's down, they're not making money. So they want me to get in and get out quick so that they can get back to testing gloves and shit and
I
make
feel
their
like
fucking money off of it.
everybody would have just a relative story to this anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're rambling on about this for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you got any hot topics you want to push on here? We got my children are downstairs, so I'm in like a little terrified moment, and I think we've been rambling long enough.
I want to talk a little bit. Yeah. I did have a little debacle on this travel, one of the first evers.
Uh-oh.
I get into the hotel room, and all these hotel rooms nowadays, they use better or different thermostats than they used to.
Yeah.
And they have motion sensors on them.
Okay.
So if you're not detected in the room, it's not going to go super cold or super hot or anything like that. So I finally learned. I did a lot of Googling, and I'm familiar with like 4 different thermostats where you can bypass those settings and turn it on so it's full blast. So I get in the room, and it's like 75 degrees in there. I'm like, fuck this shit. Get it down to 64
God, why would they have it at 75?
because it's energy efficient.
75 is not energy efficient.
Out there, it was 80 degrees in Sacramento.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, we're not talking Ohio.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was like, what? 75? That's hot, man.
Yeah, this was out in Sacramento, so it was 80 degrees out.
You wanted the room colder.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I wanted to bring it down to 64. That's how I like to sleep as
It was
cold
me
as
as soon
possible.
as you said it, I'm like, but what the fuck? No, it's heating it way too much.
Yeah, no, they had it in energy saving mode, so it wasn't cooling without anybody in there.
Right.
So I do my little hack. I got it set up so that because if you sleep, it'll shut off on you, and then you wake up in a flop sweat at 75 degrees again because
nobody
it doesn't
want that.
detect anybody in the room. Fuck
No
that.
problem with that.
So I'm sitting there, and everything's good, and I hear the AC running, and then it keeps shutting off. And it'll kick on, and then shut off, and kick on, and shut off, and it never gets colder than 75. So I call the front desk. The lady comes up, she's like, well, maybe turn it off, turn it on. I'm like, I tried all this. Like, I wanted to be like, I work in maintenance, I know more than you, but I didn't say that. I'm like, yeah, I tried, I don't know, but is there any way, like, maybe I can switch rooms? She's like, yeah, if that's what you want, we can do that for you. I'm like, cool, let's do that. So I gathered up all my shit, go to the front desk, get the new card keys. They send me to another room, and as soon as I walk in, it's a fucking furnace. Like, that AC unit was completely out. Had to have been because it was 94 fucking degrees.
Oh, God, no.
94 degrees in that room. And I call him back. I go downstairs. She's like, well, there's a motion sensor in there. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think it would ever let it get to 94 if it's unoccupied.
You might want to check that room.
Yeah, first off, and so that one, is fucked. And so they sent me to the third room. And this one, it actually got down to like 64. And before I even fucked with the thermostat, because did I fuck up the last one or something because I was fucking with it?
Yeah.
So I made sure that the AC unit was working and everything. And then I did my hack to get it down to 64. Everything was fine. And I wake up the next day, go to the job site. I go to grab my backpack to get my laptop, and it wasn't in there.
Oh no.
Because in the first room, I hooked it up to charge.
Oh no.
And I thought maybe, oh fuck, because I do that super anxiety thing of like check every part of the room before I leave. But since we've been doing this methylene blue shit, my anxiety levels aren't fucking high.
Right.
I'm just like, fuck, dude, I did that. I trust myself. I looked across the room the one that I actually stayed in. I didn't see shit. Cool, I'm out. Just like, well, maybe I fucking didn't check hard enough. So I get into that room, not there. And then it's a whole different person at the desk now than the one that helped me with the 3-room debacle the night before. It's like, this sounds weird, but I was in 3 different rooms last night. And like, I need to go check the other ones. And she's like, well, I was like, I think I was in 204. And she's like, well, there's somebody in there right now. I'm like, well, how the fuck? Like, I was here past the housekeeping and all the shit. I had it wrong. I was in 205. Finally, I get the keys to 205, get my laptop. Everything's cool. But like, it's the first time that ever happened to me. And I just thought it was so fucking funny. It's like, she's like, yeah, do you mind? Because whenever I was switching the first time, she's like, nah, you were in a king. Do you care if it's a king? Third, what level? I'm like, honestly, I don't care as long as it's cold. You know, as long as I get a room that's cool. And she's like, okay, that's fine. Well, we'll put you in a king on the second floor. I'm like, cool. And that bitch was 94 fucking degrees when I walked in there.
That's insane.
Like, I even took a picture of it on my phone. Like, just so
melting shit.
Like, look, the thermostat says 94, and she's like, I could see you're sweating. I'm like, I know, dude. Like,
Yeah, like
it's
oh god, I turn the air down, and it's like, no, I don't work in this.
Yeah, but I think that unit was fucking broke.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then 80 degrees outside, and they got the 2 curtains. One's like a kind of see-through, and the other one's like a blackout. And they always leave the blackout one half open, so I'm sure the sun was just beating down in that room, just baking it.
That's funny, like 75. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Not efficient.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing I realized too. Like, for as much as I travel, I feel like I'd be better at geography.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm in Northern California. Flew into San Francisco, stayed in Oakland first time, and then went to Sacramento. And I know like certain areas are just warmer because of the way jet streams work and this, that, and the other. It's like, how is it 80 fucking degrees? Like, in Northern California, they got to be on the same latitude line as we are. And then I looked like, no, they're in line. Northern California is in line with like Virginia.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, how dumb am I, dude?
Yeah.
Like ours, the ones that equal to us is like Washington and Oregon and shit. Like, it's like, I'm like, dude, they're like, we're on the same level on the planet. How is it so much hotter here? No, I'm dumb.
Yeah. And then warm ocean air and stuff, and then it's colder up north. It's all different. But.
Yeah, and I mean, I get that, but I just thought for sure like we were on the same fucking line, and I look at the map like, oh shit, no, they're way fucking.
I still don't get it, but
they're farther. They're farther.
I mean,
south
I do get
than
it,
we
but
are.
it's like still doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how San Diego's like 75 year round.
Doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, I just want to tell that little fun fucking story.
Yeah.
I ate too much good food.
I'd have punched something, probably.
So my gut's been all messed up.
Kick the heater out of the wall.
Oh, I tried all the stops on the first one because like I said, I've done a lot of research on the different units and the different thermostats and how to keep them running and keep it cool. Because like anymore, they're all set up to be more efficient. So they don't let the room go like down to 60. They'll have a max at like 68. Some of them set that way, and like I could bypass that. Or they have the motion sensors like for your sleep. How?
If I was just there for a day, I'd probably been like 75, whatever. I'll sleep outside the covers with my boxers on, whatever.
Even then, dude, I'm an ice cold sleeper. There's a.
I know you guys are running an AC in the winter in your bedroom. I was like, what the fuck? Your AC's on. You're like,
yep,
it's still warm up there.
It's still warm on the top floor of this house. It still stays warm, and I like to sleep 60 to 65.
Yeah,
fucking love it. I gotta be cold and then made warm by covers.
Yeah,
because I like to, cocoon up. I don't like to be all free. If my butt hangs out, that's how the monsters get me. Like,
so the butt monsters get
well,
me.
there's the monster under your bed. He can't get you if you're covered. Did you ever play that shit when you were a kid? I set up rules for my monsters. Like, if my eyes are
With
closed.
your butt? With your butt? Or what?
Well, yeah, there's rules for my butt too, dude. but I just like, you roll over and all of a sudden you feel a cool breeze on your butt and you're a kid. I'm like, oh, the monsters can get me. So I cover it up. Because they can't get me if I'm covered up and they can't get me if my eyes are closed. So
I know it is funny that doing movies and stuff, they're like, the monster's coming. As long as you get under a blanket, you're fine.
yeah.
And he's not going to murderously just beat you under the blanket.
Well, first off, the monsters aren't real, right? But as a
Right.
kid, like that's how I rationalized myself. Like, well, the monsters can't fucking get me if
It's
like-
it's your comfort.
And I even remember, like, as a kid, sitting there with my eyes shut and the blankets on. I'm like, just so you know, if you're in here and I don't have my eyes open, and if I'm under the covers, you can't get me. It's like only when I'm outside the covers, my eyes are open. And they followed the rules because they never got me, dude.
Never got you.
So you just got to set up boundaries.
There you go. Anyways, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
On that one,
Yeah.
what's these boundaries?
Yeah, set up boundaries, dude. And the monsters will listen.
Did you have yourself a damn good time
I
tonight?
did have myself a damn good time. I got to crack open another beer for this. Cheers.
Hey, yo.
We hope you guys had yourselves a damn good time as well. Join us again next week. Well, maybe a little different next week. I'll be
We'll
in
find out.
El Salvador. But
Might
either
be,
way.
we'll be in touch either way.
yeah, click like and subscribe. Do all the things. Tell your grandma about us. We love you guys.
Flack around, find out.
Yeah, love you, Cody.
Love you.
Cheers.
Love you guys. Out.